Well, hello people, and welcome back to part 89 of Orchid Bay, our vanilla Skylines build. I hope you're having a wonderful day. You actually just caught me catching the end of a round of golf over at the Augusta Golf Club, of course, and I really enjoy being in this part of the day. Some nice kind of smaller mountains here before the big dominant boys of Orchid Bay kind of dominate the skyline here. And you can just about see the downtown too. Very pretty, isn't it? Really love hanging out on the golf course. Very nice. But either way, today we are going to be building up the now named town. Thank you to a suggestion from Marek that this should be called DeVille, home of Cruella, probably Karen's best friend. We imagine. Thank you for all the suggestions, but DeVille was by far the most voted. So we're just going to build out the town of DeVille today and sort of enjoy this kind of outer-lying suburban area that we don't really spend too much time in. So I think we'll get started with bit of a low density housing specialization. So let's go into DeVille and we are going to go for, I think, mid-century modern. I think I want the fancier vibe up here, especially why it's looking like it's going to be the final town, and we don't have much of the mid-century modern stuff around the city really anyway. But these hilltop houses are really going to be the priority, I think, today. So let's definitely make sure we get those larger zonings in, facing our favourite sightlines. So I think as you drive around DeVille, you're going to be getting lots of sightlines of these kind of luxurious homes on the hillside here. That should be a lot of fun. I can also see where I might want this road to connect down here as well, so I think we'll actually delete this. So we'll have that come down there. Now I'm seeing the main road again. I almost think it's a little bit too tree spicy, so why don't we alternate the pattern? We'll probably zone this little bit of road here as well, I think. So let's go down to just the regular 4-lane road with wide sidewalks here. And we'll do it, I guess, kind of every other section seems appropriate, I suppose. Something like that, I think just tones it down a little bit, doesn't it? And we're starting to get some people using this Riverside Road as well, which is very exciting, isn't it? But people do want a little bit of encouragement to grow around here, so let's give them some gardens. Why don't we check out maybe a pond up here? There's a larger space we can perhaps elaborate a little bit of green space around, might be quite nice. I think if we're going to go commercial here as well, we could also put on, I guess we actually need a separate area for that, wouldn't we, if we want to use shopping malls? That's okay though, maybe we'll put shopping malls around the town centre here. I think we'll have some commercial facing opposite this park here. And then we'll also give them dog park as well. We have this, let's have this right in the centre of the suburb here too. And we can get some of these larger blocks filled in here as well, hopefully. All these streets lined here. Happy for some of the smaller mid-century modern houses to grow in as well. Some of the 2x2s from this pack are actually very welcome. If you remember what Hogan Square looked like before its redevelopment a few episodes ago, and that did make use of a few of those assets. Cool, so we'll wait for some. Actually, I think smaller commercial here is the vibe actually. Let's take the 4D part of it and just let them regrow. Possibly 2 3x3s might be quite welcome. Catfish cafes, etc. are about that size. And I think we'll probably have some down on this road as well on the way up, especially facing out, looking over the park and whatnot here. Definitely a sight line to be respected, I think. And I'm not sure what we look like actually when we zone on a hillside with mid-century modern. I'm not sure how it handles the terrain, so we'll try that out while we have the opportunity. And that should just grow over time here. As I mentioned, a little bit of shopping malls, let's go ahead and get this in here. So I'd also like to do, I think we're going to do an episode on this actually, maybe we'll do this next week, but I want to basically go through the unique buildings menu and basically use as many as we can in appropriate places, obviously within the limits. But yeah, to basically move through all these menus and use the unique buildings, so maybe we can do a legal development somewhere in the city with the courthouse. Maybe Where can we put this? Or maybe we can take this fish market out and put it over here. Would fit quite nicely there, wouldn't it? We'll have to wait and see. Well, things like that, right? You know, just kind of use up as many of the unit buildings as we can during an episode. Buy lots of smaller builds. But I definitely do want to use some unique buildings in this park as well. And we do have the sparkly unicorn rainbow park, which is certainly a tough sell, isn't it? But I think if we can make this part of kind of a larger family area, it might lend itself a little bit better. So we've got a lot of green space here around the back of the oppression hall, haven't we? And that is a fits and sits moment, which does make it very tempting indeed, doesn't it? Now, of course, we could upgrade this into 2-lane. And then downgrade back into that 1-lane again. This way we'll create a bit of space. And how does this one behave with an airport apron around it, I wonder? Yep, it will accept one. Although I think I actually might keep that space free for some greenery. There is already quite a lot of concrete around the oppression hall, which was a choice, so I'd rather respect that one, I think. In terms of what we're going to do with that concrete space, I wouldn't mind having, I think, just some simple park life plazas down. I think the aesthetic of a fountain and some stairs will really help it out. So there's definitely a design to be played with here, isn't there? Why don't we have 2 in the corner, which I think is nice. Now, of course, we can also make all this space walkable as well, which I think will really make those stairs on the back of the oppression hall a little bit more believable. So let's just snap into the grid with that vanilla walking pathway. And that should look pretty cool actually once it's all done. We could do another plaza here in the middle. I'm worried that might be a little bit too much, but I think I can get away with it. I think I'm happy with that actually. Then is there any plazas that might lend themselves well here? That one does sit next door. Which I don't mind. You can definitely just respect this as a bit of a public plaza. And of course, because these are on assets, people are going to come and use the props as well. Yeah, I don't mind that at all. And I guess this is all symmetrical, isn't it? So the same would also go on the other side. Which is quite interesting, isn't it? Maybe we can break the pattern in the middle here with something else. How about a zoo plaza or something? Might work nicer here. I think the wood is a bit of a clash with all the stone, isn't it? But I think we'll leave it in. I think we'll have the zoo plaza in there as well. Cool. So there's another space here. Now I think the last... Oh, would you look at that? That fits and sits as well. I was just about to say the last park we have to use is the meteorite park. But it fits and sits. So we can have the Fountain of Life and Death, the Sparkly Unicorn, and the meteorite all in a row around the oppression office. I think we'll go with it here. We will have to delete this plaza temporarily, just while we upgrade these roads to help accommodate the offset. So let's have that there. Grab our wide sidewalk roads again. Cool. Can we grab a dirt path out of the back here? We cannot. Can we chase in the connection? No, we can't. That's fine. Let's have it like that then. And then I think we'll even use... Yeah, let's go for that same repeated oak pattern again. Just 3 oaks against the back. It's a super big park town centre here, isn't it? We did want to make sure the DeVille town centre comes up here, because I would like to specialise this a little bit. I'd also probably like some high density housing around here too. Maybe on the main street here. We'll clear up that space. So this will become DeVille Centre, and we will make this a shopping malls. And then we can have some fancier commercial around here. So let's get it in up there. Probably also like to have a road come up to this point as well. And then see if we can just have a little path here. And then let's get lots of commercial in here. Lots of shopping, entertainment, etc. Good times to be had. I'm trying to fill as many solid blocks of this that I can. I don't know what I'll do with the corner. I think we'll leave that open. But yeah, that's what we want. Lots of little cafes and stuff popping up around the back here now. Oh, that one's perfect, isn't it? There we go. Lovely. Really nice pack, this one, King Leno shopping malls. If you didn't pick it up, definitely worth it. But otherwise, I think I'm pretty happy with that. Not looking too bad at all. Returning to that idea of high density, I definitely would like some here. We do have a fair slope to contend with here, don't we? So let's just even this out a little bit. I'm thinking just a small amount of it. We can see where our district isn't extending there as well. But just like, rather than kind of a street of it, I'm literally just thinking like a couple of tower developments maybe. So let's grab this road here. We definitely want road length and angle on for this. And then let's do it, yeah, kind of like that. Then just a big 4x4 or something, whatever grows in. Let's see if we can make a bit of a complex out of this. Let's give the tower some parking. We'll just go for a single space of it. And then how about one of those little tiny playgrounds as well? And have one there. And then tiny part there. Then let's grab ourselves a little dirt road here where people would walk through. Although not to overlap with the car park. And then perhaps just a little tree in here too. And we'll change this one to the basketball court. And this can be a little gazebo on the street corner. Hopefully we get a tower in here. After anything massive, but with a little bit of height. Maybe we'll let it go up a couple of levels yet. With the green belt here, I'd definitely love to have people walking around the park and the river. So let's bring this down. We won't be able to cross here, but what we could do is actually introduce a little bit of median where we're expecting pedestrians to be. So let's do that. Let's go from here with the median road. We'll use the grass one. And then let's just redraw this connection here so the pedestrian crossing meets exactly where we want it to. Perfect, look at that. So hopefully that should encourage a few more people into the city centre via the path network on the river, which we will extend up that way. Try to save some nodes where we can by not putting connections everywhere. So let's historicalise some level 1 stuff and then we'll let other ones go up a little bit further. Yep, we'll get this one historical too. Wouldn't be... Oh my god, would you look at that? Would you look at that? Finally, for the first time in what feels like... That's got to be 50 episodes, we have no residential demand, finally. Can you believe it? We have finally caught up with it, holy smoke. What's that? 109k population? Goodness gracious. Anyway, but we do have plenty of commercial demand, so I'd love a commercial high street against this bit of the town. Definitely along here as well. I guess why we have no commercial demand. Actually, no, yeah, because I would like a tower in the city centre. Have one there. I guess over here too. I don't really want to block the view of my embankment work, but this is the town centre. We should have commercial around here. I think with here, we will just leave some open green space. I think we might even accentuate actually by going down to a medium with that. I think that's just going to be a little bit nicer, isn't it? So because of the amount of unique buildings here, we should end up drawing quite a few tourists, I reckon. So we have the bus, which is fine, but the bus goes pretty far. Like, it doesn't stop again until Carroll, which is quite far away. Which leaves the rest of the suburb wanting a little bit. So why don't we have a look at some improved connections? There is a bus line through here, isn't there? Yeah, the one up to Steel Hills comes through this way. There's also a bus line up to Deneffu as well. How many spare platforms do we have? Yeah, we still have quite a few. Okay, let's do a new bus line then, because the regional airport's definitely become the bus hub for this part of the city. So if we wanted to draw you up here, which way do you come? You come the same way as the Steel Hills bus line. I kind of wonder actually if we just extend the Steel Hills line. I think we will. Because it does come back on itself here as well as it stops off at the Cougar headquarters. So as the bus line comes into Steel Hills, I think it's going to stop here. And then on its way in, before it goes to Cougar, it'll do that on its way out. We're actually going to take it up into DeVille. And it can stop right outside the town hall. Drop it there for right now, but I would like to move it around. Is that because they're wide sidewalks? We can't have the bus stop there? I think it is, isn't it? Let's downgrade these then. Because I would like the bus to come up this way. I guess actually we could just have it there, couldn't we? On the main road. Don't think that's too bad at all. I think we'll also grass line some of these internal roads. There's quite a lot of concrete through here. There we go. That should be a bit better. The Sparkly Unicorn Rainbow Park is definitely the place to be, isn't it? Cool. So we'll also have it stop on the other side of the road near the train station. Well, I guess that's it. We could just bring it up into that train station loop, couldn't we? Yeah, let's just do it there. We got a little bus stop here now. We do indeed. That should pick quite a few people up. It can actually stop again on its way out of DeVille because it can pick up people down this end of the suburb. We could also, I guess, take it up to the golf course too, couldn't we? I guess so. We might as well because tourists are going to be drawn to that. Yeah, stop directly outside the park gate here, loop back around, come out of the golf course. Then you come back into Steel Hills, where we need to rearrange some stops here, don't we? But that's not being served anymore, which we need to affect. That can come back in. Yep, stop at Steel Hills here. You will also stop again as you come back into Steel Hills. I think we will send it back into the town centre, actually. Let's drag that stop on the way back in. It can come in, stop at Cougar, then go back out. So this bus line now becomes Steel Hills and DeVille as well, which we only have not enough characters for, so we'll remove a space from there. Cool. So imagine that bus line's probably going to get quite a few new buses pumped out onto it now, isn't it? It is also getting used to. It's not like it's a totally dead line here. It's about to get a little bit busier as well, so we'll check back on this at the end of the episode and see how many of these 26 vehicles are actually needed, because some of them are pretty full. But of course we'll see, but that definitely opens up more public transport for the town over here, doesn't it? Really like how these bus stops look on the wide sidewalk roads too, right? Very nice. And already there are people waiting for that bus as well, which is grand, isn't it? Things we love to see. Let's have a look at our housing here. It's growing up now. Oh, that's a little bit rough, isn't it? It is a little bit rough with the terrain there, but I think it's so rough it kind of almost looks purposely made, doesn't it? So we are getting some very stretched textures, which is usually a no-go. But this is what I'm after. Lots more fancier houses looking over the cliffside here. Very nice indeed. Let's also try and encourage people onto this green belt as well. Let's see if we can drop in a park. Connect it in a number of places. Let's have this one go straight up there. I think maybe even one of the new park cafes down on the waterfront too. That is a little big. Maybe the smaller one is the one we want. Yes it is. Yeah, I'll take that one. Let's just sort that terrain out there as well. It's a little too harsh there, isn't it? And I suppose we should connect this in with the path as well, shouldn't we? There we go, just do it like that. Absolutely not. Let's make sure we are taking care of what's being allowed to grow here. Don't mind the IHOPs. I don't mind that taller brick build either. That one can stay, I think. We are getting some garbage issues here. Where is the nearest recycling centre for this town? Doesn't have one, does it? Fields of Golden has the nearest one. I think we'll have one out of town here. We will eventually, I think, build maybe a little just orbital industrial area here, maybe with a couple of zonings a water tower, a recycling centre, and some other general service bits and pieces, maybe a local water treatment station for the rural towns out here. So maybe we can factor that in as we come to develop this area of the city. We can factor in a little orbital industrial site, but for right now, that recycling centre should take care of the garbage around here. So yeah, well, let's do actually just to help test those connections. I know we're going to do this in a future episode, but for right now, I definitely just want to test how the AI decides to leave the nephew. So we'll have this road come through the valley. Cool. So let's see how much use that actually gets. People traveling around. And there you go. There is garbage truck leaving now. Is it only garbage trucks? It is. It's just garbage truck road. So that comes down there. I'll say that's okay then. One day Sims will use it. Okay. So I'm really happy with the mixed zonings we got going on here. A little bit of high density is definitely welcome in the city centre. Although noise pollution here, it is loud. We'll have to be careful, I think, actually, with how much commercial ends up being here. In terms of these houses, I think again it's just going to be a little case of bringing up some parks to help everyone grow, isn't it? But definitely mid-century modern is the vibe. Let's see if we can get another dog park in here for folk. How about there? These guys definitely need a school out here as well. So why don't we have a look at having this near the entrance here, where we've got a little bit more room within one of the grid frames to work with. I think we'll go for the Green Cities one. It's always a favourite, isn't it? This one here. I think we'll have this come out on, or at least have it sat on a bit of a frontage road if we can. Something like that. Then we'll have community school. And then I wonder if we have room for one of Peanut's sports venues in here. Yeah, we can fit the football pitch in. So I think we'll have that. And then can we slope up from here? I think we'll be able to do something with a little rock wall around here, I think. And we can connect that in. There's some trees around the area. Maybe some playground props as well during the detail and time-lapse. Otherwise, I think we can make a pretty convincing school complex here. Definitely actually give it a road connection as well. Would be helpful, wouldn't it? Cool, so that should give a tiny boost to elementary, and then high school is the one after that. I wouldn't mind having this larger asset just part of the high street, almost treating it like it isn't a school. You could also grab Creative Arts Institute and have this kind of sat at the bottom of what will be Art Life area here. Yeah, don't hate that. Let's have a look at our buses. Wonderful news. Margin to clear. Stop every time, aren't they? Pretty frequent as well. Let's check the line why it's been running for a little while now. Yeah, it's not doing too bad. Some of them are pretty full. 158 or some stops as well. Where's this? The airport, right? Okay, looks like maybe we want a larger bus model then. We have 30 at the moment. Why don't we take that up to 74 with the commuter bus? That's obviously a really popular line, that one, isn't it? But otherwise, this does feel like a rather good place for a detailing time lapse. So go ahead, bring in all the housing and prop detailing around the park and get lots of forests in. And we're also going to develop a park life area here. I think we are getting animals spawning here, so I think we'll make another hunting grounds in the final town. It seems pretty thematic, doesn't it? The first town, 2 Church, has the original hunting grounds, and the last town of DeVille will have the last one. But anyway, let's do some detailing, and then we'll be right back. Okay guys, let's have a little detailed review as we head across the town of DeVille. So that mid-century modern stuff has settled in really nicely. All across the hillsides now, it's continuing to level up still, as you can see over there. It flows really nicely across those hills, doesn't it? Always nice seeing a bit of elevation in a suburb. Down that main street, we have lined with commercial around the school. There's a little young linden pattern and some fence and path detailing where appropriate around the suburbs. The suburb also winds down here towards the river road as well, which we'll get to in a moment. And then we also come up here where our suburb again has grown up over those hillsides, and it has some really fantastic views across the town, especially from kind of this perspective here, looking towards what has become very much a kind of medium density rise in the town centre here. It's really nice. We'll get down there in a second too. And some tastefully chosen commercial, of course, as well, over on our corner units, where there's just a little bit of a community centre in the suburb here, a little shop, perhaps well, what looks like to be a hairdresser's and a bar maybe. Very convenient. So nice little place to hang out in very much countryside Orchid Bay, kind of views we've never really seen before, right? Which is always so refreshing, I think, you know, on episode 89 of a series, plus all the live streams as well, to still find a perspective we haven't seen yet of the landscape and, you know, actual Orchid Bay, the map. It's always nice. It makes me smile, this city, you know, all these years later. And then this spills down up through via Greenbelt back onto the main street, where we had a very happy zoning alignment. Had one of the little icebox things pop in here next door to a shaker, which is absolutely wonderful. So nice little happy accident there with the zoning. Well, that spills onto the river Greenbelt. That comes down here. And then just really nice views, especially from this perspective here. And we'll jump up some more hillside housing views as well. Just really nice. These guys need their garbage picking up, actually. But these are the smaller mid-century modern houses I was talking about. They're very tasteful, especially for low density. Really nice. They remind me a lot of kind of Arizona for some reason. Maybe like New Mexico vibe sort of housing. Then over here, just superb views across there, right? Bend of the river and this little river road getting action too. Very pristine. It's really nice. And then this all spills down, of course, into our medium density town centre, where there's a little bit more action here with some high density. Dropped in another tower over here as well. Make sure everything was leveled around it. A little gazebo park and car parking configuration, of course, that we put in the episode. All settled in real nicely now, and that shopping mall's zoning really paid off as well. Looking around the town centre, we have the oppression office now sat with its 3 unique plazas, which is a really nice configuration. Definitely a example of if it fits, it sits, I think. Really a big unique park space here. Maybe this can be some kind of like government park facility, maybe something aligned with the Orchid Bay government. Some sort of symbol here, maybe kind of looks like a helix, doesn't it? Like a DNA helix. So yeah, maybe there's some sort of science tribute here, and obviously a major event of an impact, a meteor strike, etc. And I don't know what the pink unicorn is. This unique plaza is just something else, isn't it? It really does stand out, but it does make a nice sort of kids attraction, I guess, a bit of family vibes. Which really blends in with the rest of the sort of open oppression plaza here, if you like, for lack of a better phrase. If you want to be oppressed for the day, then, you know, come to DeVille. So you can come down here, and people are now walking this concrete space, and there was a bit here I caught during the detailing, just like to have this open walkable space now that people will use and just busybody around as they visit the plazas and go about their day, and the commercial behind it with the trees and the landscape and little cafe there, like Vanilla CS is it's just so good, isn't it? Absolutely love it. Still just adore this game. Lady sat on the bench here as well, yes please. Really brings those plazas alive, doesn't it? But the whole space around the town centre here has really, really come to life, I think. I'm really happy with it. Lots of props and plazas where possible. The bus line, which we'll have a look at together, since I did promise that we would indeed check it out. It's getting decent use. It saved 100% of car trips. But pretty much every bus is getting a decent amount of action, with very few left at the stops as well. So that's really good. And then also the elevated station here is getting a tiny bit of use, which is also nice. I think our next first person tour is we'll start in DeVille, and then we'll head off through the countryside, stopping off at Carroll, Denise, of course, Sharon, and then on through Karen, and then down into the downtown. So that would be a super big train commute right the way through the city, I think, which would be really cool to see, wouldn't it? Just a moment to appreciate the depth of Orchid Bay these days. It's really growing out, hasn't it? For that. All the little orbital towns, the nephew, of course, DeVille, Carol, Denise, just the sprawl. It's very satisfying. But either way, we'll return back to some more housing that lies towards the edge of the map fog. And then there's some more high density around here as well near our park. Where we do still have animals spawning, thank God. I was about to say that they have stopped spawning. But of course, the alliance of the cougar and the wolf formed out of the hatred and fear for the carnivorous deer of Orchid Bay, if you will. And then merging up here, our roads just wind and connecting with each other. And they've also done the same with the paths as well, just tried to eye up where people would kind of want to walk, you know, reaching up through these hills. There you go, prime example. But someone coming down here. Just to take that shortcut through. And then also up here too. So these green bots do get a fair bit of use, which is nice. Although something hasn't been made historical. Get out. We will rezone that one. But either way, that is going to do it for today, guys. Let's thank you all so much for watching. Thank you for continuing to support and love Orchid Bay on episode 89. Episode 90 next week, which is pretty crazy, isn't it? I don't think we're going to make it to 100 with the amount of nodes we have left. We'll have to wait and see. I know the developments in the valleys to the south of here are going to be really quite node intensive, I think, with all the networks we're going to do there. But we'll see what happens. Anyway, there's always some more redevelopment to be had as well before we finally do say goodbye. Have checked the node count. We're now less than 1,000 nodes. It's like down to like 800, I think. 800 nodes left. So you guys have been dropping suggestions as well. We have removed water pipes from Orchid Bay. They've been out for a very long time now. And to go through the city with network multi-tool and reclaim nodes from the highway network would probably bag us a few hundred more, but I think at that point it's probably time to let go when you start doing that with network multi-tool. So I don't think we'll be doing any more kind of node saving operations on the city besides the water pipes and everything we've done so far. Of course, we'll always see. I might change my mind on that next week. Either way, do enjoy some cinematics of the furthest kind of development we've done out in Orchid Bay for a long time, right up against the map fog here, with that very far skyline visible off in the distance, which is really cool to see from here, isn't it? I think we've really managed to nail the sense of distance and scale in Orchid Bay. Massive shout out to the patrons supporting the channel. If you want to get involved, Instant Gaming and Patreon down below. Best way to get a little bit more egg in your diet. Otherwise, do enjoy those cinematics, but I'll shut up and leave it there. Let's thank you all again so much for watching, and as always, enjoy the rest of your day.